Hi, my name is Tim. I am the owner of the vacation rental you will soon be renting in Largo, Florida. And basically, this video is to just give you a rundown of the area and give you some insights to what's around. So let's go to the location here, which is right here. Okay, so let's start with necessities like groceries, things like that. You are on Belcher, and you're closest to, which is called, this is Roosevelt, which they call East Bay Drive. Um, actually, East Bay Drive. Yes, that's East Bay Drive. So basically, when you come in or when you leave, if you take a right and then just take a quick left, you have a Publix right here. In fact, you can go right in to get this thing to stop moving. Tijuana Flats and then go right in the back and then you're here. So you don't even have to get on East Bay and go around. So it's the supermarket there. East Bay Drive is pretty much loaded with different things. That's a fairly popular road with a lot of stuff, and so is Ulmerton. Uh, there's Walmart's, Home Depots, things like that, all over these roads. I would say Home Depots and more things like that, and I wouldn't say malls, but Walmarts and things like that. Those are on Ulmerton. Smaller shops would be on East Bay, and East Bay is basically the quickest way to the beach. Um, so let me. And the other, if you want to go south, 19, what you can do is you can come out of here, take a right, and 19 is pretty much your route to anything that you want to go to south. So if you want to go to St. Pete, that's probably the easiest route. Or you can stop here, get on Gandy for a little bit, and get on 275 and go all the way down, or just go all the way down to 19. So if you're going to Tampa, and when you're coming in from probably the Tampa airport, I'll cover this as well. Where's the Tampa airport? Okay, so when you come out of the Tampa airport, you are going to be taking 60. So you're going to be going down here and then you'd be taking 60, and 60 is probably um, usually we take 60 because there's just usually less traffic. 275, I believe, is the more direct route, but we like 60's got a beautiful view, and if you go down 60, come down Bay Bridge, and then get on 686, which is East Bay Drive or Roosevelt, they call it too. You can go right in, and then you're here. So that's kind of a nice drive to start, your vacation. You'll get a beautiful view of the water. Um, if you go as you're driving up East Bay towards the water, there's a beautiful Central Park. If you have kids, there's a great park here. There's tons of jungle gyms, and it's just huge. And there's just walking trails around and stuff. And they just had Christmas there, and it was all lit up. It was really nice. Um, there's plenty of golf courses around as well. I haven't gone to any of them yet, but there's if you look at it, there's plenty of golf courses around here. One here, one here, one there. I mean, they're just all over the place. Uh, so this is when you get out to through East Bay Drive, you'll hit the first beach. First area you'll hit is Bel Air. Now, there is a place called, if you want to Go north. The probably the most popular beach is Clearwater. A lot of there's it's got that fine grainy sand, the powdery sand, and but it's got a lot of people as well. So definitely go see it once at least. At least once. Walk around the sand, all that stuff. Enjoy the beach. If you want a less traveled beach, there's Indian Rocks Beach, which is, I mean, there's still a good amount of people there, but not as much as Clearwater. If you go to, if I can find the road here to get, we usually will go down to, Lulu's Oyster Bar. That is a great place to go. If you want inexpensive seafood, I'll talk about that in a little bit. I just saw it. JD's restaurant. If you go to JD's restaurant and right, this is what we usually do. We park right inside of JD's restaurant. There's a couple spots here. If you want, some free parking, there's usually a couple spots right on this road on the side where it's just parallel parking. And then you go out. There's water access right here. Otherwise you just go to Indian Rocks Beach and there's, paid parking. It's not much. I think it's like, a few bucks or something like that. Um, Let me go down here. So Indian Rocks Beach is a nice beach. The next one down, I would say, is Madeira Beach. I would go to in Madeira. Let me see if I can pull that up. Okay, this is Madeira Beach down here. Madeira Beach is a nice beach. John's Pass basically is Madeira, and John's Pass is you definitely want to go to this area where the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company is, because there's a lot of tourist shops around here, and it's just and if you, it's a little it's a little attraction spot with it's got some boats that go off here for deep sea fishing and tours and things like that. And if you go here, if you go down where like the top of the dock is, where Bubba Gump Shrimp is, there's a dock there, and you can go actually under the bridge, and then you're right out on the beach, right out on the beach. That's the easiest way to get to the beach, to basically um, kill two birds with one stone, because you're on Madeira Beach basically, but you're going through here. Okay, let me, all right, I'll go back. St. Pete Beach, a very popular beach. Um, there again, there's a lot of, everybody goes pretty much to the main St. Pete Beach, but there's less traveled beaches that's called Pass-a-Grille, is one of our favorites. Um, you go down, let me see here. You go down Pass-a-Grille Way, and you take, right here is where all these little shops are. It's not huge. It's just it's a small little area, but it's quaint. And you go right out here. This has got actually one of the best rated. This Pass-a-Grille has got some of the best rated seafood as far as fish and chips and things like that. I was kind of amazed they had that. Brass Monkey is a great place. Go get yourself they call it a dirty monkey. I think it's a really good drink. Hurricane, you can sit up the top of the roof and watch. Brass Monkey's food's pretty good. Hurricane, haven't, I think I had it once there. I can't say I was thrilled, but maybe I got just something. But you can check that out yourself. But Brass Monkey definitely has some good seafood and good drinks. Let's see here. Okay, so that's pretty much. So the other option is also you can go to Fort DeSoto Park is down here. This basically is a paid park where you go and you pay, and there's a lot of beaches down here as well. Kind of in the definitely more wildlife, and just you definitely feel like you're kind of in a secluded area, more of a secluded area. Um, And of course, if you want to go to anywhere else, Sarasota and stuff, that's basically your trail to that. If you want to go down south to Sarasota, that's pretty much what you would go 275 to 75 down. Now let me go back up to. Um, so, all right, we're here. If you go north, you'll hit Dunedin. Dunedin's got an interesting little downtown there. Safety Harbor has got a really neat downtown. It's just quaint looking. It's got some decent restaurants over there. Um, so these are two kind of nifty towns. If you go up to where is it? I'm looking for. All right, Tarpon Springs. Tarpon Springs is where they have the sponge docks. So if you Google sponge docks, Tarpon Springs, it's basically a little bay, and it's it's kind of a good tourist place to go to. But yeah, you'll see boats coming off of the sponges that they get off the water right off the boat, and there's a lot of shops, restaurants, a lot of Greek restaurants, a lot of Greeks up there. So if you like Greek food, definitely go there. Um, okay, so that's pretty much. I think I covered a lot of the stuff for. Oh well, let's go downtown here. So downtown St. Pete, there's tons to do downtown St. Pete. Um, Bayshore Drive is you can basically get off. Let's see, this is where the pier is. Oh, they're constructing a pier, so the pier's not really there. But oh, come on. This is the area where it has parks and trees and stuff, and it's just a beautiful walk. So you want to, and there's beautiful restaurants. There's some really nice restaurants on Bayshore. Reasonable. There's some reasonable ones, there's some expensive ones, both, but most of them are reasonable ones. Chuli Collection. They have two locations. One on Beach Drive. If you like the Chuli Collection or Chuli Art, I would definitely go see the one on the Bay Shore Drive. I haven't been to this one. I don't know if that's a store. That's a another museum. I'm not sure what that is. I think that might be just a store. But definitely go check out the one on Bayshore. It's got some pretty amazing pieces of glass in it. Dali Museum. I haven't been into it yet. I was when I lived in Orlando. I was in it when it was their old Dali Museum, but I heard it's amazing. There's a museum of there's also another museum of art somewhere here. Oh, where is this? It's the St. Pete Museum of History. There's also boats here that can take you out on tours, fishing, sailing lessons, all that stuff too. Um, but yeah, there's also another museum here. South Straub Park is where you want to is the park where you want to walk around and things like that. But there's another museum here, MF something. I think it's Modern Museum of something or other. I don't know why we've been to it like twice. I don't know why I can't remember right now. Uh, there's a great tea place here if you like tea on this Bayshore Boulevard. There's a tea company and it's fabulous tea. This is Central Ave. This is where kind of there's a lot of bars. Um, you definitely want to walk down here. At the beginning of it, there's more clubs, bars, there's some cigarette bars, so there's a fairly good amount of, guys out there, there's just bars and guys hanging out on the side. Well, that didn't really sound appealing the way I put that, but anyways, yeah, this is more of like the younger kind of scene where there's bars and clubs, but there's other things mixed in. And if you just keep going down Central, there's just more and more stuff. It'll peter off as far as it'll kind of stop for a little bit, but then it'll start um, having some other different shops. And on the far side of it, on the north or where am I? On the west side of it, there's a called the Edge District, and I'm gonna type in what I'm trying to figure out. spot over there we've been to.